This is Crypto. This is my special boy. I love him very much. He's very, well, he's not sweet, but he is good at crime, and he's a rogue. As I played originally, as some of you may know from watching previous videos of mine, I was a hardcore raider back in vanilla, and I played rogue, so obviously gotta play rogue in classic. Basically, I've been having a hell of a time. I've been having a blast playing classic, and people have been asking me, are you gonna quit playing Final Fantasy XIV to play classic? Are you done? No, of course not. Of course not. So I thought I wanted to make a video basically explaining what am I getting out of classic and what am I getting out of Final Fantasy XIV, and why for me personally these games are very complementary to each other. Like I feel complete. I feel whole. It's like the the teenager inside me is like glowing with joy that I have this wonderful experience back. It feels like if your pet runs away and you thought you'd never see your pet again, and then one day it shows up at your door. That's kind of the way that it has felt for me coming back to classic. I thought it would be fun if I go through some of my screenshots, because I've been taking screenshots along the way through my classic journey, and it might help you understand some of what I'm getting out of this game. The Shadow Priest Sarvis said, "You've shown yourself to be worthy of the freedom that you've been given. Many will stand against you for what you have become, but know that no matter what they try to do against us, we are free and will not be shackled again." And I was like, I will remember your words always, Shadow Priest Sarvis. I will not let them shackle me again. We need to destroy all life on Azeroth so that nobody can tell us what to do anymore. So there's my corpse on the ground, and I was fighting these murlocs, and I was like level 7 at the time, and it was a real pain in the ass. And as you can see here in the chat log, someone gave me conjured muffins. They saw me res, they saw that I was having a hard time, and they gave me conjured muffins, and the mage said good luck, and I said cheers, man, thank you. Like, I was just hanging out in the inn. I was sitting next to this other Forsaken, and he was like, sippy cups. In my younger years, the juice just poured out of one's right nostril, and now out of the stomach like an old fart. He said, super hard being undead, to be honest. Can only be undead for so long, and then you wish you were actually dead. That's a mood. One of the best things about Classic is how everybody is very willing to help, and like, just be cool, be a bro to you. I took a screenshot of the time that someone, when I was playing mage, gave me a new chest piece and a new cloak that they had made just for free. They just opened trade and gave it to me, and I said, wow, thank you. And he was like, you're welcome, good luck out there. I think it's really cute when people lay their character down on one of these beds and then log out. I have a collection of screenshots of people with their characters sleeping in the hammocks. Am I creepy? Am I a creepy dude? Am I creeping on these people? That's exactly what I'm doing. Everything is a pain in the ass in WoW Classic. And that is part of it. That is part of what makes it memorable. That is part of what makes it good. Suffering is the key. As I've been leveling, I have felt the value of every single copper. I have felt the value of every bit of experience that I get, every bit of training that I do for my weapons. Even from level 1 to level 10, you can feel so much stronger, and you feel like all the time you spent has paid off to you. You know, now like I'm level 17 or 18, I've got like 3 gold, and I feel so rich right now. I can't believe I have 3 gold. This is amazing. It's that little bit of very gradual, very steady, but very palpable, I guess, progress that is so satisfying. Because of the lack of a duty finder, you are forced to sometimes whisper people individually and say things like, hello, warrior. Would you like to tank for our group in Ragefire Chasm, our humble group? And I had to do that the other day, and it was an ordeal getting everybody to the instance. People had to travel across the world by airship, by foot from the Barrens, from the Undercity. And eventually we all stood at the front of the dungeon portal. And I said, the party has been assembled. And the warlock said, we shall call it the Fellowship of the Wipes. And it felt epic. We had not even started the dungeon, and it felt that we are already on this epic journey because some people had traveled from so far. Because it is a pain in the ass, it's memorable. It's like it gives it meaning. It is like the pain and the suffering is what gives it meaning. That's something to ponder. But you know, I'm not always in the mood for that shit, and I don't always have the time. A lot of people don't. That's why MMOs evolved over the years, you know? It can almost be a little bit exhausting to do that for very, very, very long periods. I know some people are able to, but chunks of that seem to be like for example, what I just mentioned, the dungeon, getting to the dungeon, and then like we did the whole dungeon, and, you know, after that dungeon, like I was ready to step away for a little while. Like I felt very accomplished. I had gotten a new level, and like I got some loot, and I was like, okay, I feel good for a while, and I can now take a break, or I can go play Final Fantasy XIV for a while. Maybe play a game where not every single thing is a giant pain in the ass. You know, like that's refreshing too. That's refreshing too. After you've been through all that, yeah, sometimes it can be refreshing to just turn on the duty roulette, get your roulette done, and then move on with your day. You know, like you don't always have time to have this huge adventure. It comes down to how I'm feeling, what I'm in the mood for, and it makes me feel like these are very complementary games, especially as I'm going to be focusing on PvP in one and PvE in the other. Because look, I have no reason to raid in Classic. Like, why would I do that when I'm raiding in Final Fantasy XIV? Like, don't get, like, as someone that raided in Vanilla pretty extensively, I can tell you that the fights were nowhere near the complexity that we see today in Shadowbringers. And, like, I know from my experience that it's just, there's no contest between these different fights. Not only that, there is something to be said for a brand new raid coming out that nobody knows how to do. And unfortunately, you know, that's not something that can happen in Classic. Everyone knows the mechanics already because these are old fights. I feel like that does take something away from the PvE raiding experience, at least in my view. And that's why, for me, I'm not really interested in raiding PvE very seriously in Classic. There is some story that you can pick up in Classic through the zones, and some of that story is very interesting, especially so far what I've read in the Forsaken zones, but it doesn't really involve you. You're just kind of like an adventurer going through it. You're not like the chosen one or anything, and I feel like you know, that's sometimes it's an important feeling to have in an RPG, and something that Final Fantasy XIV absolutely gives you and makes you feel like you are really you're here to save the world. That's awesome. That's a super cool feeling. To be back in the Barrens and hearing the Barrens chat, that's been mostly good. It's been mostly good. What a time to be alive. Or in my case, undead. Part of me needs to be a cute bunny girl who lives in a world where she's the hero and she is the warrior of light, and she's going to save the world and hang out with the pixies in the fairyland of magic and hang out with all of my friends, and we're going to defeat the titans together, and we're going to like have glorious deeds, and the bards will sing about us. While in WoW, like I can be this little bastard. It's like ganking noobs and murdering alliance and feasting on their flesh for the glory of the Forsaken. I mean, look, that's fun too. There's different kinds of fun. But I hope that you liked this video, and I hope that you will let me know if you're liking Classic. You know? Are you having a good time? Is it not for you? Have you not even tried it? Or you're not interested? Did you play it back in the day and you felt like how I used to feel? Like, oh, well, been there, done that. Do you think that they will add BC and Wrath? Do you think that Activision is currently sitting there like, this is way bigger than we expected. What are we going to do? We can't add a cash shop or anything how are we going to monetize this? What are we going to do? I bet that's what's going on. The Activision offices right now. And that makes me laugh and laugh and laugh. Because they've got to get people into retail. So they'll pay for stuff in the cash shop. Let me know your thoughts about all these things in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for just listening to me ramble about 14 and Classic and just how much I love these two games in such different ways. And I would love to know about your experiences in both games too. All right. Well, thanks again for watching, and I will speak with you again soon. Bye.